Hello viewers, welcome to Ekam IS Academy. So today UPSC has released notification for 2024 prelims, that is for both CSE and IFOS. So in this video we are going to discuss elaborately about how to fill this application for prelims. So this is very important stage which is commencing for 2024 year. So all the basic information which you give will be there till even interview and final selection. So you have to be careful while filling the form. So we will be guiding you how to fill the form with real-time application. You can see here. Actually, today the notification was released for 1056 vacancies in civil services examination, and another notification was given for 150 vacancies. This is with respect to IFOS. So if you have eligibility, that means if you are from a engineering background and from some science backgrounds, then you can even apply for IFOS. Combinedly also you can apply, and some branches they are only eligible for CSE. So according to your degree, you have to choose among these two. Okay, there is separate application, but same examination will be conducted for both. This is common prelims. Okay, you need to get a higher cutoff for IFOS. This is what the basic thing you need to know. Then what is the eligibility criteria? Means anyone, okay, about 21 years of age who have completed their graduation. So they are eligible to commence this examination process. You can say they can apply and they can start with prelims examination. And you can see here, main thing is last date to apply. This is 5th March is given. 5th March 2024, that is on Tuesday. Only before 6 p.m. you have to submit. It is not till 12 a.m. on the same day. It was only, okay, it was given only till 6 p.m. on 5th March. Okay, before 6 p.m. only you have to submit the final application for prelims. Otherwise, both part 1 and part 2 also have to be submitted together. Otherwise, your application will not be considered by UPSC. So this is the most important thing. And second thing is, with respect to this, photo guidelines were also issued. This time UPSC has made it mandatory. So 3 things they have mentioned with respect to photos. One is, whatever the photo you're going to submit as part of this application process, that should be within less than 10 days of recent photograph should be given. Okay, within 10 days of application only you have to get that photograph, okay, of your own, and your face and this part, okay, about the body, that should be there in the 3/4 of the size of the photo. You should not like get photographed in a very less zoom manner. It should be in a closed manner. Almost 3/4 of the photograph should be covered with your face. The third thing they mentioned is, on the photograph there should be your name and the date on which you have taken that photograph. Okay, that should also be covered. So these things you have to take care. This is what specific guidelines given by UPSC with respect to this 2024 notification. You have to be very cautious in filing this application. Now we'll see how to apply. Okay, so you can see here, you have to go to the basic website, that is upsconline.nic.in. okay, so here these are the things which will be displayed. And in the recent times, UPSC has kept this process of one-time registration. Okay, that means even before prelims application also, it has given, last time also it has given this, means for any exam which is conducted by UPSC, if you just fill this one-time registration, okay, which is consisting of your basic details, personal details, educational details and qualifications, then further if any notification comes, then you can just simply apply to which notification you can pay the payment and whatever the criteria that is required, like for example the choosing of optional subject, choosing of examination center. Only if you fill those things, then it is enough. You need not repeatedly give all the details, personal details, educational details for all the exams you appear by which are conducted by UPSC. That is why they have simplified this process by giving this one-time registration. So for freshers who didn't even get registered under this OTR, they have to initially start with this one-time registration system. You can see here, one-time registration is there. So here new registration will be there. Okay, so if you wanted to go for new registration, so you can see here, these are the things available. So you have to give your name as per 10th class certificate. So exactly their name should be there. Even alphabetical things also will matter. Don't give wrong alphabetical things in the name. Okay, always cross check when you're giving the name. You have to again verify the name and have you ever changed your name. Okay, so if there is a change in name, then you have to say yes, and then you have to give the supporting document how you have changed your name previously and what is the name in the present time. Then if there is no change, no, you have to choose here gender. Okay, so you have to go whether male, female or other gender. Then verify your gender. Here date of birth, again as per 10th certificate or SSC certificate only, the date of birth has to be given. Some people will have different date of birth, but be cautious. Whatever it is mentioned, the name and date of birth should match with your matriculation or SSC certificates. Then you have to verify your date of birth. Then father's name again. So you try to include this as in the certificates itself. Don't try to give in, sometimes spellings will go wrong. So please be cautious in this. Like again, you have to verify your father's name, mother's name, same thing. Okay, so these things, and minority status. Okay, so whether you belong to minority community or not, you have to give here. So then mobile number. So mobile number and email ID, they play a very important role. You have to be very cautious when you are giving these things, because further communications will be given to these things only. When you have registered part 1 for preliminary, the registration ID will be sent to your mobile number or even email ID only. That is why you have to be very cautious. Cross check again when you have given alternative mobile number if you want to give. Okay, for further communications, if you have second number, you can give this. So email ID, again you have to give alternate email ID also if you have. Otherwise, here you have to give class 10th board examination roll number. That means SSC roll number you have to give here. This is mandatory. So you can see here star marked ones are mandatory. Then security question. Okay, in case if you have like if you have forgot your passwords and in the future, so this question if you select. Okay, so these are the selected questions. Among these, whichever you can easily remember, that you can enter this question and you can give the answer. So in case of any future problems, then this type of security mechanism is also provided. So second security question is also given same way, and captcha code is given. You have to fill the captcha code and then you have to submit. Okay, so after submitting OTR, okay, then if you go back, okay, 1 second. So if you register with one OTR, okay, after submitting the process, again some educational qualification details will be asked. So after submitting, okay, you will get one OTR ID. Keep that ID with you all the time. Okay, so that ID you have to, whatever the mobile number and email ID you have used in registering that OTR, through that you can log in, or through this OTR ID which is communicated to you by this mobile number and email. Through these three options, anyone you can choose and you can log in through this. So through these things only you can log in and you can apply for this fresh application of prelims. Okay, so you can see by email ID. So here I'm entering my email ID which is already registered. OTP will be sent to your mail which you have given as part of your OTR. Here OTP is given. After registering the OTP, you have to again enter verification code. So you can see here verification code is given. Okay, so here you have entered into your registration phase. Okay, so now you are having your profile login. Okay, so then here you have dashboard. Here you can see these are the things, important instructions for filling an application form. Please go through these instructions which are mentioned, because they have given in what format you have to upload your photograph, signature and all. So basic information before application, what is actually have to be considered. These have been provided by UPSC here. Please go through these instructions. And important thing is application will be given both in Hindi and English. Any language you can choose up to your choice. Okay, so as per your choice. Then here you have latest draft, latest notification, application status, application history, view profile and edit profile. Okay, so if you wanted to edit your OTR, okay, one-time registration if you have given 1 year back, and if you wanted to make recent changes to that OTR, you can go through this update and edit profile. Otherwise, you can just, if you want to verify your OTR details, you can see by view profile. Or if you wanted to apply, now we wanted to go for latest notification, we wanted to apply, right? So you have to choose here latest application. Okay, so here you can see latest applications released or Civil Services Preliminary Examination 2024, and you have Indian Forest Services Examination 2024. 2 notifications are there, and you can see here today they have given, and the last date is 5th March before 18 hours, that is 6 PM in the evening. So here you can see there is 2 options. Update or edit OTR profile. Okay, so if you wanted to make any changes, you can use this, or if you have everything correct, then you can go for click here one for part 1 notification. Okay, so now we are entering in filling of this preliminary application process. So here there is an instruction page, okay. So here you can see here what is mentioned is important instructions, just we'll go through. So here you can see online application is at this particular website, that is already we have seen. And if you wanted to make any corrections except OTR details, so immediately after the next day of the closure, okay, so there will be a window available. At that time you can communicate and you can make any changes, but don't try to make you, okay, so that you have to make changes, because anytime, okay, UPSC, there will be a lot of process involved, so don't go for any mistake. Try to give exact details and accurate details. Then application form is available both in English and Hindi language, but only can be filled in English language, okay. You can fill only in English, but for your understanding purpose it is given both in Hindi and English. Then two parts it will be there. So most of the students, they'll think after submitting part 1 everything is done. It is not the thing, okay. You have to submit part 1 where you have to fill your basic details, and in part 2 there will be payment details, there will be scanned uploading of photograph, signature, and your photo ID number, whichever the like Aadhaar card or voter ID which you are submitting as valid ID proof, that number also has to be given. And then you have to give a declaration that I am agreeing whatever the information I have given is true. So then the part 2 process will complete. After submitting part 2 only your final application is considered to be complete. Till then it is not complete. Please be cautious. In part 1 you have to fill basic information. Then after submitting part 1 you will get a registration ID. Using that registration ID you can log in for part 2, okay. Be cautious with these things. Then here part 2 payment details will be there, uploading photograph, signature, examination center, and agreeing to declaration. Then registering part 1 and part 2 both will be treated, okay. So like for example, most of the students may get confused. Today if they submitted part 1 and if they couldn't submit photograph or signature today itself, okay, no problem, they can submit even tomorrow also, or 2 days later also they can submit. Part 1 and part 2 both have to be completed within the given time, that is 5th March 6 PM. Before that you can submit, but there is no rule that you have to submit both on same day. If you can submit, you can do well, okay. But in case if you couldn't submit on time, means both on the same day, there is no problem, okay. Then you also have to press this I agree button after submitting, okay, because you're agreeing, otherwise this will not be considered as proper application. Then scanned photograph, as I told you in the beginning also, but here scanned photograph should be only in JPG format, JPG, okay. Photograph and your scanned signature, you have to sign a signature on the white blank sheet, so that with a black pen preferably. So scan that, and if you would have very good camera idea and all these things, you can do it on your own. Otherwise it is better to get that scanned under any internet shop and all. You can go and you can ask them to scan your photograph and your signature. So those both should be in your JPG format, and they have mentioned pixel resolution also. 350 by 350 pixel resolution should be there, and the size of the picture, okay. So in JPG it should be in between 20 KB to 300 KB. In that size only it should fit, okay, both signature and photograph. Then in whatever the Aadhaar ID or voter ID proof you're giving, okay, so as a valid proof, that you have to carry to the examination hall. So you have to be cautious. Whichever the proof you have with you, you have to keep that only, and you have to get a scanned copy of that also. That should be in PDF format, okay. This is another instruction given here. So these are the things which are mentioned, as I told you, in plain white background, okay. So they said photograph also should be on plain white background. 3/4 of the photograph should present your full face, okay. So from top hair to the bottom of the chin, this should be 3/4. And it should be latest, not older than 10 days for filing this application form, okay. Within submitting this application form, before 10 days only you should get this photograph, and at the bottom of photograph there should be name of candidate and date of photo when it was taken. You have to mention both, okay. That should be added to the photograph. This is a clear instruction given by UPSC. You have to remember this. It should not exceed 300 KB. I told you minimum size is 20 KB and maximum is 30 KB for photograph and signature in JPG format. And identity card document in PDF format only. It should be not exceeding 20, not less than 20, and not exceeding 300 KB. So here you can see they have mentioned pixel size, height, how much width, how much, and all these things are mentioned here. You can get this, if you specify these things to the internet shop persons, they can get that particular copy scanned properly according to the instructions. And you can pay this application form online, or you can even get this through credit card, debit card, net bankings, and or through even cash challan counter of SBI also you can do this, okay. So in this way you have to do the payment, and part 2 has to be completed before 6 PM on 5th March 2024, okay. So that is a valid time. So this is what mentioned here there should not be any change in the specific details like center, optional subjects. So whatever the center choose, like some most main center details also you have to choose at this point of time only. Later if you think now I'm in Hyderabad, if I wanted to go to Delhi, so at that time if you give now considering Hyderabad, if you later wanted to appear from Delhi, that won't be possible. So now where you wanted to sit for mains, that has to be given at the stage of prelims itself. So you think and properly give the center. There won't be any further changes even with respect to optional subjects also. After prelims there will be separate DAF for mains. At that time you cannot think that I'll change my optional at that point of time and all. No, there won't be any change. So medium of examination is also very important. In which medium you wanted to appear, whether Telugu, Hindi, English. So that also has to be given at the prelim stage itself. Okay. So these are the basic details which you have to give. Then regional language paper also you have to give at this point of time only. And you have to give the photo ID number. The same thing you have to carry to the prelims examination hall. So they will verify your identity using the same identity card which you have provided in the application form. So on this application, you will get a confirmation that from the UPSC that you have successfully submitted this like application for prelims. Till then the process is incomplete only. Okay, so candidates who are having less than 40% disability, they'll have relaxation according to the rules. So these are the instructions. 24 instructions are provided. So read all the instructions, take time, there is no harm, take time, sit and relax, and then study and understand the instructions and be cautious when filling. So if you have read this and understood these instructions, then yes. Okay, then this process will start. Okay, here you can see these are the things which are fulfilled. Okay, so the date of birth details are there, alternative details, and all these are the things mentioned. Okay, so you can see there you have to give the community. Okay, community date, community things are mentioned, fee remission is allowed or not. Then educational qualifications. Okay, here you have to already passed degree. Then select your degree in graduation. Okay, so whether degree in engineering or something is mentioned. Select your examination preference. So both civil services, Indian Forest Service and civil services. Okay, so this is what, okay, they cannot change already. So this is one already thing mentioned. So Indian Forest Service and civil services, you have to give your address also, line 1, line 2, the address. Okay, so whichever the address you choose, so then you have to go for continue. Okay, so you have to choose your marital status and all. So in this way these things will be given. Okay, so in part 2, when after you register, okay, so again in part 2 you will have, okay, so here after again this you have to already register again. Okay, login is there, no, you can log in here. So using your email ID, mobile number and OTR ID. Then if you submit part 1, you will get a fresh registration ID. So using that registration ID you have to log in, and then you will be shown that the part 2 link will be activated. Okay, after successful submission of these things only you will have this part 2. Then in part 2 you have to pay. Okay, who have to pay means all females have fee exemption. Who are all have to pay means OBC, creamy layer boys and OC boys. So they have to pay 100 rupee fine, 100 rupee as fee. So they have to pay. Then after that you have to upload your scanned photograph as I told you with recent guidelines followed. That is should be in the range of 20 KB to 300 KB in JPG format. Then scanned signature has to be given. Then you have to give your valid photo ID proof scanned copy also. Then you have to give declaration. Okay, examination center has to be chosen for mains. So which center you wanted to appear for mains, that, and along with that medium of language. Okay, so in which medium you wanted to give your mains, that you have to mention. Then regional language, in which language you have to give your mains exam. Okay, so in like regional language exam is there, no, so whether you wanted to sit for Telugu or any other language, so that has to be chosen. Then you have to agree that whatever the information I have given is according to my knowledge is true. Okay, so after giving that, your part 2 application will be submitted. So after part 2 you will get a particular message through your mobile number and also to your mail ID that entire application is submitted, okay, in UPSC for this particular prelims, whether CSE prelims or IFOS or both, that will be mentioned in your message. Okay, so in this way if you apply, until you get that message, your process of application is not complete. Okay, so you have to be cautious. So part 1 and part 2 both have to be completed before 5th March 2024. So this is what one main thing you have to keep in mind, right? Yes. So most of the students will have a doubt with respect to age relaxation also. There is no like age relaxation is there for defense personnel, ex-army personnel and all. For them only there is this particular clause of age relaxation. So other students can use no if they don't belong to this category. So they can choose no and they can go for these options. Okay. So graduation percentage and all the things you have to give these things. Okay. OTR submission and all. So that will be given. So this is a basic thing in the way how you have to apply for UPSC civils. Okay. So this is what. Okay. So in this way, I think you have found this video useful as part of your application for prelims. If you have any further doubts, you can comment in the video below. So you can like below the video, you can comment and we'll answer to you and we'll help you in this particular preparation and also in filing the application for prelims. All the very best. Make use of your time and be cautious while you're filling this application. All the very best. I hope you will clear this stage and you will appear for mains soon. Thank you.